Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194 and appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video, and I hope you're having a great day. And we're here of course in ACC in the Ferrari EVO and at Barcelona, and I said a while ago that I was going to get this setup out, and I just kind of got sidetracked, and plus, to be honest, it really gave me some fits, and it's still a little still give me a little fits, but um, just to try to get it to the performance, the uh, the wear, and everything. Trying to get everything to go together is not wanting to cooperate. So basically, I've really had to spend a lot of extra time on this. I mean, I've spent multiple days, multiple hours, as far as trying to multiple times trying to get it to work, and multiple stints. So I hope you like it, and we'll just do a couple laps, and basically you get two for the price of one, even though it's free. I have two setups that I will go over, and I'll leave the link to both the setups in the description. And one is like a high downforce, and the other one is more of a lower downforce. They both kind of are close in performance, but a little bit different in the way they do it. So that way, if you can try either one, and whatever suits your driving style, then it would be good. So I'm just going to go over a couple laps. So this is with the high downforce, the one I kind of prefer, and we'll just go over a couple laps, and then we'll go over the setups. Let's get in the car. Of course, I start with 80 liters. A little deep here. Gearing really works good here, Barcelona, with the Ferrari, so it's just goes together really well. You can hit some curbs and things. It's high enough to where it won't, might upset it a little bit, but it's not going to wreck it. So that's a good thing. That's a 144.71. See the speed, about 163, 164 down at the end of the straightaway. Even with the high downforce, which is still respectable. I mean, you can really attack with the high downforce one, just for the fact for a lot of the 30 minutes, it just it feels really glued, so it gives you confidence to attack if you want to. You can drive it in hard, you can late brake it, you can do a lot of things to be aggressive if you want to be. Of course, if you have an hour race or something, you need to lay back a little bit, that's fine too. Fuel wise, 80 liters is more than enough to do the 45 minutes even on map 1. And that's what it is. I'm on map 1 the whole time, so I mean that's pretty good too. I think it takes about 76, probably right around 76 liters to do 45 minutes. Okay, and let's see what the time is on this one. For 144.63, that was my fast lap. So again, we'll go over the timetables. Try to make this as quick as I can. I did another stint, and it was about 3.5 seconds faster than that over the 30 minutes with this setup. So that's why I kind of like this one. Not the one that I'm showing you, the other one, but another one that I was trying so that it pretty much failed the grade. But anyway, here we go with the timetables. There's the 2 laps. It's 44.71 and 44.63. Then I had a 44.74. And, you got about half a dozen 44s in here. I had a couple little mess ups. In the last lap, I messed up trying to push hard. I kind of messed it up in the last sector. I goofed it up. But what should have been right around the same time as like a 45.7 or 8 or something like that, which is not real bad at the end of the 30 minutes. After your tires are pretty worn after pushing really hard. Time-wise, I mean, if I put that there, it'd still be about the same time. So still, like I said, pretty consistent. Even though Barcelona's pretty tough. I mean, Barcelona is a pretty aggressive track as far as the pavement. It really is hard on tires. So you do get it's hard to keep it from not getting some kind of fall off and wearing the tires. It's just really hard on it, especially the left front. That's what it just beats that left front with all these fast, right-handers. So let's go over the setup, and I'm going to go over the, let's see, which one is this? This is, I'm going to go over the 6.5 is the high downforce one, okay? And so basically, and I can put HD in it or something, HD for, next to the 6.5 for high downforce, and I can put low LD for low downforce on the other one. Basically, the tires are 25 left front, 25.4 left rear, 26.8 right front, and 26.5 right rear. The toe is negative 0.05, with the camber at negative 3.5 on the left front and negative 3.7 on the right front. The caster is 14.1. The toe on the rear is 0.1, with the camber at negative 3.1 on the left rear and negative 3.2 on the right rear. Electronics were 3, 5, and 3 with the number 1 map. Of course, fuel I had 80 liters. And it did have significant graining, so it kind of made me nervous about that. Again, I was still running higher 45s, but basically every single stint I did, no matter what combination I threw to it, it still did the same thing. So actually, sometimes it was worse than that. It had severe and all kinds of other stuff. So like I said, I guess it's just the way the track is as far as abrasive. The Indy roll bar is 32 in the front, 56 brake bias, 13 steer ratio, which again, probably could turn this down. I kind of like it. I was turning it a little bit too much, and that might have been contributing to the graining. I don't like turning the wheel that much, so I'll probably turn it down to 12 because I don't like turning it that far to get it to get it to turn. So the springs on the front are 151,000 with a bump stop rate of 1,000 on the left front and 900 on the right front, and the bump stop range of 1 on the left front and 3 on the right front. Springs on the rear are 169,500 with a bump stop rate of 700 on the left rear and 600 on the right rear, and a bump stop range of 10 on the left rear and 20 on the right rear. The anti-roll bar is 20, and the preload and the diff is 70. Now, again, I would really be careful with that. I tried it 50, 60, and 70, and 80, and 70 felt really good. If you go less than that, sometimes some of those corners it wants to spin the one tire, and plus you get even more wear between the left and right rears. So the 70, you can really get on the gas on some of those turns, and it basically just goes, just drives right off coming off the corner. So I really think the preload on the diff is pretty much spot on. The shocks are 5676 on the front and 5665 on the rear. Aero, I have 59 in the front and 59 in the rear with a 10 rear wing and a 4 and a 3 in the brake ducts. And the front aero variation is a negative 0.8. So now a couple suggestions. If you want to try to get the car to rotate just a little bit more with this setup, you can go down right here in the front, go down to 58, and I think it might help with some of the graining also. That might be another thing to try. And also puts more weight on the front. As you can see, the front aero variation dropped a couple tenths, so that's something you might want to try. But the only problem with that is some of those curbs, especially that, let's see, the curb when you do that fast right-hander, the one, I don't remember what number it is, but the one before the real tight left-hand hairpin. So it's that fast right-hander. If you get on that curb there on the inside right now, it's fine. But if you go down to 58, it could upset the car and throw you off the track. And the same thing with the curb with that, where you go like the carousel, where you're going around right and going up before right there near the end of the track. If you hit that curb, it could mess you up too. So again, be careful if you go down to 58. But it might help with some of the tire wear, especially because you're getting more weight up on the front tire. And that would probably help. So that's something that, again, you can try, and you might gain even a little performance, but that's just a suggestion. So that's that setup. So let's go to the other one. So here's the 6.4, and we got 25. Again, same thing, left front, 25.4 left rear, 26.8 right front, and 26.5 right rear. All this stuff is the same, so everything is the same on this. I'll show you what's different, but all the cambers, because the wear, as far as the tire readings, as far as the inner, between the inner and the outer, is all pretty close, pretty good. So I didn't really want to change the adjustments to change that. Electronics are the same, 3, 5, and 3. Fuel, of course, is the same. Mechanical, this is where it gets a little different. Basically, the brake bias is turned up to 57. Any roll bar is 30. Steering ratio, again, I'll turn down to 12. Springs are 151,000. The bump stop rate is 1,000 on the left front, 900 on the right front, and the bump stop range is 1 on the left front and 3 on the right front. Basically, it's all the same again. Everything's the same here. Oh, no, the springs are different on the rear. So the springs, I got 155,000 on the springs on the rear here. And the bump stop rate is 700 on the left rear, 600 on the right rear, and the bump stop range is 10 on the left rear and 20 on the right rear. So, yeah, I got a little bit weaker spring here on the rear. Again, because this has less downforce. Of course, the preload is 5, the preload is 70, and the anti-roll bar is 5. That's the same. Shocks are the same, 5676 and 5665. That's the same. Aero is different. Okay, we got 59 in the front and 58 in the rear, with a 7 rear wing and a 4 and a 3 in the brake ducts. And you can see the front aero variation is a pretty big difference. It's a 0.4. So it's a pretty big difference as far as the front aero variation. And, of course, the wing, you're talking about 3 positions less. Speed-wise, it's about 1 mile an hour, 2 max, but pretty solid 1 mile an hour faster down the straightaway. That's the difference between this setup, the low downforce, and the higher downforce setup is basically 1 to 2 miles an hour down the straightaway. Time-wise, they're really close to the same. I got a little bit better time out of the high downforce than I did this one. But maybe you might be different. You might get a better time out of this one than the other one. So that's why I'm offering it, just in case your driving style might suit this better. Just be aware that, like I said, you have a little bit less downforce in the rear. So basically, as far as your tire wear and things like that. So again, I will put the links to both of these setups in the description. And I sure hope you enjoyed the video with a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And of course, I have a PayPal account. With the link that will be in the description below these also if you want to help support the channel. And thank you so much for the people that have. You're awesome, and I just again, I can't thank you enough. Any support is appreciated greatly, and everything I get always goes back, and I'm always trying to get stuff to make the channel better, and just try to do it as quick as I can, as I can afford it. But I appreciate it, and I always appreciate you sharing the video, and all comments are appreciated. I love talking to all my friends, and I sure hope you come back and visit again really soon. Y'all take care. See ya.